Welcome to our channel. So today we are going to tell you about the top 10 deadly pandemics in human history. So are you ready to hear scary stuff? Let's get started. At number 1, Third Cholera Pandemic. The third pandemic stretched from 1852 to 1859 and was the deadliest. It devastated Asia, Europe, North America, and Africa, and killed 23,000 people in Great Britain alone in 1854, the worst year of the cholera disease. That year, British physician John Snow, widely regarded as one of the fathers of modern epidemiology, carefully mapped cholera cases in London's Soho area, allowing him to pinpoint the source of the disease in the area: contaminated water from the public well pump. Although cholera has existed for centuries, the disease came to prominence in the 19th century when the deadly epidemic occurred in India. It spread across Asia, Europe, North America, and Africa to countries like Russia, where over 1 million people died in a matter of days. At number 2, the Asian flu pandemic of 1957. This is an outbreak of influenza that was first identified in February 1957 in East Asia and subsequently spread to countries worldwide. The 1957 flu outbreak caused an estimated 1 million to 2 million deaths worldwide and is generally considered less serious of the 3 influenza pandemics of the 20th century. This one was the least deadly, with estimated global death figures ranging between 1 and 4 million, and that's likely due to the fact that a vaccine was created in 1957 that helped stem the rash of infections from this deadly flu. The Plague of Justinian at number 3. Imagine a plague that has infected millions of people in just 1 year, killing up to 5,000 people a day. For the Eastern Roman Empire, this nightmare was a reality. Despite its catchy name, Justinian's plague has been identified as the bubonic plague, otherwise known as its 14th century cousin, the Black Death. Like the modern bubonic plague, scientists believe that the Justinian plague was spread by fleas. The Antonine Plague, at number 4, referred to as the Antonine Plague, named after Emperor Marcus Aurelius Antoninus Augustus. This epidemic did what hordes of roving armies could not. It nearly broke the Roman Empire apart. At the height of the epidemic, there were fatalities of up to 2,000 people per day. According to Roman sources, in total, about 7 to 10% of the population of the Roman Empire was killed. At number 5, smallpox. The origin of smallpox is unknown. The finding of smallpox like rashes on Egyptian mummies suggests that smallpox has existed for at least 3,000 years. The earliest written descriptions of a disease like smallpox appears in China in the 4th century CE. Smallpox was a terrible disease. On average, 3 out of every 10 people who got it died. People who survived usually had scars, which were sometimes severe. At number 6, the rotavirus. Rotavirus is a very contagious virus and causes diarrhea. Before the development of a vaccine, most children have been infected with the virus at least once by age 5. Although rotavirus infections are unpleasant, you can usually treat this infection at home with extra fluids to prevent dehydration. Occasionally, severe dehydration requires receiving fluids through a vein intravenously in the hospital. Good hygiene, such as washing your hands regularly, is important, but vaccination is the best way to prevent the rotavirus infection. At number 7, HIV/AIDS. HIV is a virus that attacks cells in the immune system. The virus destroys a type of white blood cell called a T helper cell in the immune system, also called a CD4 cell, and uses these cells to make copies of itself. As HIV destroys more CD4 cells and makes copies of itself, it gradually weakens a person's immune system. This means that someone who has HIV and does not receive treatment for it will find it increasingly difficult to fight infection and illness. If HIV is left untreated, it can take up to 10 or 15 years for the immune system to become so severely damaged that it can no longer defend itself. However, the rate at which HIV progresses varies depending on age, general health, and history. At number 8, typhus. Typhus is an infectious disease caused by bacteria, which is accompanied by a specific rash, fever, damage to the nervous and cardiovascular systems. The disease became widespread in Europe and later spread all around the world. In Mexico, typhus killed more than 2 million Indians and killed about 3 million people in Russia. Dengue virus at number 9. This virus first appeared in the 1950s in the Philippines and Thailand. Since then, the virus has spread through the tropical and subtropical regions of the world. The dengue virus itself is carried by mosquitoes and causes dengue fever. The virus is claimed to have a mortality rate of 20% if left untreated. At number 10, the coronavirus COVID-19. The most horrible and deadly pandemic that human beings have ever seen is the coronavirus. This pandemic is an infectious disease which spreads through human-to-human contact. In the last 2 years, it has been the toughest time we have seen, but as a sign of relief, vaccination for this horrible virus is going on in many countries. So that's all we have for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed this video. Before we go, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And until then, stay safe.